ね。はい。
はい。
じゃあ、どうしますか？
はい。じゃあ、どうしましょう。じゃあ、僕、トッドから行きましょう
はい、
か。
はい、は
よ、
い。じゃあ、お願いします。
はい、45番行きます。
はい。
Now, you are saying worked in the radio at a young age, but you went back to it much later, right? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I did. When
Mm,
I was 21 years old,
mm,
uh, I got headhunted to the show.
mm,
This show was basically a freelance show uh, uh, that had to be three different languages at the time, and uh, the range of audience was uh, quite broad. Uh, this show was basically anything I wanted to talk about. So quite often, I talked about music, uh, current events, anything political, anything non-political, and anything that came into my mind.
mm. Okay, so what were the three languages of the show?
Hindi, Punjab,
Mm.
and obviously English.
Okay, and what was the city? Where was this at?
That was in Auckland.
Okay, so this was one of these kind of radio shows where you switch from one language to another.
Yes, the show was catering for everybody basically.
Mm.
So the criteria was speaking in a way that makes people understand even if they don't speak the language. The trick was to say
Mm.
one third in English, the rest in Hindi and Punjab, uh, where I could, and
Mm.
somehow it just made sense.
Okay, so how did you go about doing that? Like, did you plan or that just kind of off your tongue?
Yeah, for me, I think it's quite natural because my parents speak in Hindi and Punjab. For me, English is uh, natural.
Mm.
So are the two other languages.
Mm.
Uh, so it's so blending them together was never a problem.
Okay, now when you hear languages being switched back and forth like that, are you conscious of it, or sometimes you are not even conscious that you're speaking one language or the other?
I don't think I'm conscious about I'm conscious of it at all.
Mm.
It happens. It just happens,
Mm.
and it's a slip of tongue.
Mm.
Uh, uh, all three languages I'm quite fluent. So to switch for
Mm.
me to switch from one to another
Mm.
is just natural course of a day.
Okay, so since you have experience in the music industry, what do you think makes good DJ?
A good DJ
Mm.
is one that's neutral when they need to be, and one who can switch side very quickly
Mm.
and makes it controversial from being neutral.
Mm.
What I mean is uh, what I mean by that
Mm.
is when you have interesting topics,
Mm.
call you up and it is very positive about it.
Mm.
Good JJ is uh, uh, good JJ would be able to flip it over very quickly
Mm.
and makes it controversial.
Okay, now do you think data servers, like how much you should talk and how much music should be played and
Yeah, there's absolutely balance.
mm.
Quite often, people listen to
Mm.
radio for music. Uh, so you
Mm.
uh, 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 you you need to make sure that your music ratio is more than how much you talk, but the amount you talk has to be interesting, uh, uh, very limited.
Okay, alright. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
はい。
I,
はい。では、
じゃあ、
答えします。
I, じゃあ私のトップ。
はい。
Now, you are saying you worked in radio
うん。
at a young age, and then you went back to it uh, much later in life. Uh, and, could you tell me about that?
Yeah, I did. When I was 21 years old, I got handhunted to do a show. This show was basically a freelance show that had to be done in three different languages at the same time, so the range of audience was quite broad. The show was basically anything I wanted, anything I wanted to talk about. So quite often I talked about music, current events, anything political, anything non-political, anything make that came to my mind I'll talk about.
And what are the three languages of the show?
Hindi, Punjabi, and obviously English.
Okay.
Mm.
What well, what was the city? Where was this at?
This was in Auckland.
Okay, and this mm, mm, this is one of this show
Mm.
was one of these branded radio show where you
Mm.
switch from one language to another.
It was so the show was uh, the show was catering for everybody. Basically, the criteria was speaking in a way that makes people understand even if they don't speak the language. So so the trick was say one third in English, the rest in Hindi and Punjabi where I could, and somehow it just made sense.
Yeah. How did you go about doing that? Did you plan it, or did it just kind of roll off your tongue?
Yeah, for me, I think it's quite natural. Yeah, because my parents speak Hindi and Punjabi, and yeah, so for me, English is quite natural, and so the other two languages, yeah, blending them together was a never problem.
Mm. Yeah. Now, when you hear the language being switched uh, back and forth like that,
Mm.
are you conscious of it, or sometimes you are not even conscious that you are speaking one language or the other?
I don't think I'm conscious below, so it just happens. It's a slip of tongue. All three languages, I'm quite fluent, and so for me to switch from one to the other is just a natural course of a day.
Since you have experience in music industry, what do you think makes a good DJ?
A good DJ is one that's neutral when there needs to be, and one who can switch sides very quickly and make things controversial while being neutral. What I mean by that is if we have an interesting topic and Cora calls up and is very positive about it, a good DJ will be able to flip it over very quickly and say something that would make it controversial.
Oh, no. Do you think there's a certain balance? Like how much you should talk, or how much music should be played?
There's obviously a balance. Quite often people listen to radio for music, so you need to make sure that your music ratio is more than how much you talk. But the amount you talk has to be interesting, but quite limited.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Yeah. はい、
はい、はい、ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
はい。